Well, Israel says that it is beginning a new stage in its war against Hamas. The Israeli defense minister outlined the new plan, calling for a more targeted approach by troops in northern Gaza, while still pursuing Hamas leaders in the south. As Ian Lee reports, the shift in strategy comes as Israel still reels from the deadly attacks on October 7th.
Nearly 3 months ago, Hamas brutally attacked Israel. Gunmen stormed the Nova Music Festival, killing scores, taking hostages, and igniting a war. Gal Dalal attended the festival with his brother Guy.
What is it like coming back here?
It's weird feeling. It's like mixed feelings.
Gal got away, Guy didn't, taken by Hamas along with more than 200 people.
Hamas released a hostage video of my brother. You can clearly see him handcuffed inside their tunnels. You can see him frightened.
Time now stands still with his brother in captivity.
This festival could not be the last time I spoke with him. I mean, my brother is the whole world for me, and I will see him again, I know it.
Israel says returning the hostages is a top priority, believing military pressure on Hamas will secure their release. But the war is also devastating Gaza and the Palestinians living there. Iman El-Holi lost her parents and a leg in an Israeli airstrike. Her foster mom fears Iman's other injured leg may have to be amputated. Doctors lack the medicine, equipment, and time to try to save it. Even painkillers are in short supply. Nearby, Noor Maruf hopes doctors won't have to amputate another leg. I used to run and play. I was so happy. But now that I lost my leg, my life became ugly and sad, she says. But doctors will likely have to take it too, just like the war has taken her hopes for the future. This is the tragedy of the war in Gaza. So many innocent people's lives were upended by Hamas on that day in October, from the families of those killed and taken hostage to the Palestinian civilians just trying to survive, Anne-Marie.
Ian, it's very true. It's good to bring us back to the true victims on both sides of this war, the innocent civilians. Israel's defense minister has unveiled, his proposed plans for the next phase of the war. The thing about this is not official Israeli policy. So I'm curious, what's the take on this announcement? Is there a feeling that this might be just strategic because Secretary Blinken is visiting the region?
Yeah, Marie, it could be a bit of wishful thinking. It could be what the Israelis want to see. Israel will dictate the future of Gaza. We do know that. Now, there will be input from, of course, the Americans, the European Union, Arab states, but Israel will control it, and it's up to them to decide its future. And so we are starting to get a bit of a glimpse of what they believe that future would look like. And if you look at the proposed plan, it looks a lot like what is happening in the West Bank, although they're saying no settlers will be able to go inside Gaza. But two things stood out to me. One is that Israel is going to maintain security control over Gaza, being able to have its military in there operating at their will, but also saying that they don't know what the political structure of Gaza, who's going to actually run Gaza afterwards. Will it be the Palestinian Authority? Who will it be? That's a big question, but this is really the first time we're kind of getting a glimpse of the day after.
So, if the IDF is closing in on Hamas and there are fewer and fewer places for Hamas members to hide, that also means there are fewer and fewer places for hostages to be safe. What of the hostages? We have heard in recent weeks of hostages being killed in this conflict. Any more information about possible releases?
Yeah, when I was speaking with Gal, he was worried about his brother's safety because he knows the war is raging in Gaza. It's very heavy fighting. There's a lot of bombs, and so he does worry about his brother's safety. That's something we hear from a lot of the family members of the hostages. Some of them just want a ceasefire, and if that means releasing all Palestinian prisoners to get all the hostages out, they're saying, let's do that. Let's bring these people home. That is their message. Yesterday I was speaking with a congressional delegation led by Senator Joni Ernst. She said that they are pressuring the Qataris, they're pressuring the Egyptians, working with regional leaders to put pressure on Hamas to release those hostages. I asked them, I said, what is better, negotiations, military? They say that, you have to have both, that the military pressure is pushing Hamas to the negotiating table. But, just the other day, we had that assassination of a top Hamas official in Beirut. Hamas said they're not going to negotiate with the ceasefire or hostages anymore. So there's a big, there's a big area to bridge the gap. So they need to be able to get Hamas to the negotiating table and also get these hostages out. But as you point out, as the war continues, it just makes it more and more dangerous for those hostages.
It certainly does. Ian Lee, thank you so much.